Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Johnson. Today I'm bringing you the last episode, week 7 of the Air Force BMT series reaction video thing that I have going on my channel. If you haven't seen the other episodes already, there's going to be a playlist, so you can go on my channel, find the playlist, and you can watch all the way from 0 week all the way up to 7th week. I don't think that there are a lot more of these videos that I can react to. I am gonna try to go around YouTube and on the Air Force channels and stuff like that and see if there are any other videos that I can find that would be of value to you that I can talk about. But I'm gonna jump into this. It's just gonna be like the 6th episode, or the week 6 episode where we watch through the whole thing. Just because there's a lot of content in here and it's pretty straightforward, and I'm gonna talk about it and maybe go back through when we're done. So let's play.
During the 7th week of training, this is the week when we perform many of the graduation events. The first event being the Airman's Run. During the Airman's Run, this is the first time that the trainees' family has seen them in 7.5 weeks. They get to go out there, they get to run with their flight, and they get to feel that sense of pride as they're running past their families. After the Airman's Run, they get to perform the retreat ceremony, which is when the trainees receive their Airman's coin presented to them by their MTI. For the first time, they are officially called airmen. After retreat, they get the opportunity to spend time with their families. The families run out to the retreat pad and they get to hug their airmen. They get to tell their airmen how proud they are of them. The next day, we perform our graduation parade. They get the honor of marching down the Enlisted Heroes Walk. You see the successful transition. I'm preparing the next airman to go out and to take my spot in the Air Force. So I want to ensure that I'm training someone that is disciplined, someone that is courageous, someone that believes in the Air Force core values. Integrity first, serves before self, and excellence in all we do.
So we're gonna go through the week 7. Week 7 is the best. It is the best week. Week 7 is, besides Airman's Week is awesome, but week 7 is really short. It's really chill. Everything about week 7 is great. I wish that I could explain the feeling that I have about week 7, but it's just great. Basically, you work your butt off, right? All throughout BMT. All throughout BMT, the 6th week is the hardest week. You're doing all of these tests. You're doing your PT test, you're doing your facing movement test, you're doing your EOC, you're doing all sorts of stuff. And then you get the weekend, you get that Sunday, which is like the last Sunday. That's when you finally get to just relax. You wake up the next Monday and you're like, yes, this is great. So basically, you have a couple classes. It's not all fun and games, right? You have a couple classes and you still have PT, and you still do stuff in the 7th week, like the first 2 or 3 days, I think, like that. And then I think it's like on Thursday or Friday or something like that is like the retreat ceremony, the Airman's Run, and the graduation and stuff like that. So basically, the first thing you do in the whole graduation setup, that's pretty much it for the week. You do stuff, but most of the stuff is preparing for Airman's Week and preparing to get out of there and making sure you've already done all your tests. So now the MTI is trying to keep you guys in check so that when you get to graduation, you can actually go through with it. So that's your job in that time period between finishing your test in the 6th week and actually graduating. It's super important to not mess up in those days, and you just keep it real chill. You do what you're supposed to do. You do the best job that you can, and that's it. During this time period, the MTIs are usually really chill. That's usually when you go to the day room and you talk with them about their lives, and they talk to you about your life, and it's really fun and chill. And I can't explain it because I can't recall specific things, but our MTI literally would go up there and sit up at the desk and just laugh with us, and he would still keep it MTI, and he's still kind of scary because he's like, well, this dude could freak out in 2 seconds. But they really kind of get down to earth and chill with you because it's over. It's like, all right, the show's over. I've already put you guys through 6.5 weeks of yelling at you and all this crazy stuff, and so now it's time to just kind of relax. You've already finished everything. All of you made it, so that's awesome. But there's always that one guy that wants to piss him off one day before we graduate. I don't know why. There's always that one guy. I've heard it from everybody. It's so funny because everything is fine, and then he just starts yelling out of nowhere, and you're like not even in the room, but you can hear him yelling at somebody, and you're like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So anyways, Airman's Run is the first thing in the whole graduation setup. You wake up, you get your PT stuff on, and you get your like flight t-shirts or whatever, and you go on a run. So this is like, basically they kind of showed it a little bit backwards. You can kind of see it right here. Wait, where is it? It's kind of like this, right? So we started from Alcatraz. The people who live in these dorms right here at Disneyland have it so nice because their Airman's Run is at Disneyland. The retreat ceremony, where is it? All of this right here, this whole area is a part of Disneyland. And so it's almost across base. Like from Alcatraz, we have to run around, like up these bridges and stuff like that with our PT gear on, basically. Run to Disneyland, do the retreat or the Airman's Run where we run through here with our family and all sorts of stuff like that, right? Which is awesome. This was great because I actually did see my family. You're like looking real hard, but you're also told like if you get caught looking, you'll get in a lot of trouble. So you just kind of like try to keep it as cool as you can and like just move your eyes. And you're like screaming Jodies because the MTIs are screaming their Jodies too and stuff, and you run through here. But it's so easy for Disneyland because you guys live here. So you do this run, you go upstairs and you shower and you get your uniform on, and then you get ready for a retreat ceremony, which is this, right? So when you're actually going through with it and getting your coin. But for the people who are at Alcatraz, right, it's not easy. It was not easy. It is hard. We have to run from Disneyland back to Alcatraz, which is, it's like half a mile probably, maybe more. And I know it's like, oh, that doesn't seem hard, but half a mile when you're running in the morning and you have to rush to get ready, like, you have to understand, we still have to eat breakfast. We still have certain procedures we have to follow because we're at BMT. So you wake up, you shave, you get ready, you get your uniform on, you run to the Airman's Run or whatever, you take place in it, you have to run back to the dorms. Once you're at the dorms, you have to go to the DFAC, you get like a granola bar and Gatorade or something, and you drink it at the table really quick. Then you go upstairs and you shower as fast as you can. And usually they try to like recommend you do like a car wash shower, which is like, oh, it's super just cringy to me because it's so awkward. Like you basically get soap and stuff and then you walk around the edges of the shower and everyone kind of follows each other and you just kind of scrub through the shower. It's like supposed to be like a 30-second shower. It's really gross. It's disgusting. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. And we didn't actually end up doing that. We were still on time and everything. But you have to rush shower, get ready after you eat your granola bar and stuff. And then you have to go back downstairs and start forming up to get ready to march all the way back to this. So you're waking up, going to Disneyland, running back, rushing to get ready, waiting for everyone to get there on time, and then you have to march all the way back here. You're not, if you're late to this, like, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble, basically is what I'm saying. And you have to march there up these big bridges and stuff. You will understand when you get to BMT. I know you're probably thinking like, wow, he complains a lot, but you will understand when you get to BMT. So basically you get there and you line up under the big atriums in the Disneyland squadrons, right? I'm sure you saw them in the last video. Like there's these big overhangs and you line up there with like all of these flights. How many are there? There's like 6 on each side, so there's like 12 flights, right? And all the MTIs are screaming. That's what it sounds like because there's like so many MTIs yelling and you're trying to listen to your MTI, and so you have to recognize their voice. But basically, it's like a long driveway. So from the dorms, I'm gonna try to find a picture here. From these dorms, not this one specifically, but from these dorms, there's like a long, there's a huge concrete area, but we march from under those dorms all the way to this open area, which is just right in here, which is where the Airman's Run takes place. Into here, we march down there, we line up where we're supposed to meet on our flight, and then this whole ceremony takes place. So they do I don't even know, they probably did the national anthem. This is the band flight. This is kind of where the commentator reads whatever she or he reads. And then eventually you go through and they do the ceremony and all the MTIs are kind of doing their little waddle walking and stuff. And you get to shake your MTI's hand, get the coin, you put it in your pocket, and then you just go back to doing whatever you're doing, which is standing there. Once this is done, and it's hot, right? It might not be hot for you, but it was hot for us, and we're like, the thing is about these ceremonies and stuff, a lot of people love to pass out for some reason, so you just kind of have to keep it chill, like as chill as you can. It's very nerve-wracking to do these because they're hyped up so much. But basically, you see how these people, right, all of these airmen are standing at parade rest, right? But this guy, he's hugging his mom or whatever, and all these, some people are moving and some people aren't. You have to stay at parade rest until your family comes up and physically like touches you and gets you. And I don't think they show it. I was basically over here to the right, like on the other side, and I just kind of waited for my wife to like come up and hug me and stuff like that. But it's really awkward because you're like standing at parade rest and you can't move. It's almost like you're at attention. You're like trying to look around for your family and you're waiting for somebody to come touch you because you just want to freaking move already. And yeah, it's really weird. Anyways, everyone sees each other, they take pictures and stuff. And basically, once they come and get you, you're released for base Liberty. But we got lucky because the water was out on base or something. The day we had our retreat ceremony, and so we got to go on an extra town pass that day, which was cool because we got to go around to like San Antonio in ABUs, which was sick. Anyways, yeah, happy babies, yay. And then you have the parade ceremony. So this is kind of the big deal. This also sucks for Alcatraz because the parade field is even further than Disneyland. It's like on the opposite side of another bridge, like a big real car, not a walking bridge, like a car bridge from Disneyland. So we have to march in our blues from Alcatraz all the way over here just to do the ceremony. So it was kind of rough because, I don't know, man, blues are not the best thing in the world, and the shoes give you blisters sometimes. It depends on the person. Anyways, this is what you've been practicing for the whole time. The retreat ceremony is kind of like, and then this is like, you know what I mean? Like, the parade ceremony is the big deal. Your family sits up in these stands with the tan roofs. Under the middle one is where, like, all the officers and generals and generals and whoever, right, is under there. And basically, you all line up where, like, left to them where the band flight is, you can see them in the background. You line up kind of next to each other, all facing the audience, and then eventually you kind of break off and you start marching and stuff just like this, and you do this whole eyes right thing. I don't know why they showed it in ABUs, because I mean they should have showed the actual like graduation of the parade, but basically once you do the whole eyes right thing, you line back up and then you do the the Airman's Creed and stuff like that, and you swear in basically again. And there's like all these cues of like when you drop your hand and when you lift your hand up and all sorts of stuff like that. But basically, eyes right, I talked about it in the last video. So when you're doing parade, you do eyes right to basically signify like a salute, I guess, towards like the significant guests at the ceremony. And that's all the parade ceremony really is kind of marching around with these big flights in blues. And then you pull an eyes right, and then you kind of march, line back up, do the creed and like the enlistment, I guess, thing, whatever. And then you are basically released again. So I think you wait again in parade rest for your family to come up and find you. And your family's also told where you are, so your family's not just like kind of like, oh, where are they? Like, they actually know where you are. They keep track of that. And then once you're done with this, again, you're released for your town pass and all sorts of stuff like that. After that, that's pretty much it. You hang out with your family. I believe there's one more day after this where they actually give you just a town pass or base Liberty or whatever. And then you're done. Then you say peace out to your family, dap it up, they leave, and then you go straight into Airman's Week. So if they have Airman's Week videos, I would love to do a sort of reaction series about that. But that's graduation week. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, leave your ship dates and any questions you may have down below about week 7 of graduation, or maybe it's week 6, or whatever the case may be. If you would like to see more videos like this and you have videos you want me to kind of go over and they're worthy of putting into a YouTube video, you can DM them to me like on Instagram or Twitter, or you can, just tweet them to me in general, or even like leave, I don't know if YouTube will let you leave link comments down below, because sometimes it sends me like a request for that when someone replies a link, but just do whatever you think is right. and I'll try to get back to you about that. So thank you again for watching, and peace out.